Oh, so one of my subscribers asked me to make a video about what to look for when buying a motorcycle. Well, so I'll make it quick, short, and sweet. When looking for a motorcycle, me personally, I would be hesitant about buying highly customized bikes. I know they look great, and you save money on customizing it yourself by having somebody already do it. But when people customize a bike, they change things, right? They change the bike in a way that's different than the manufacturer intended it to. So sometimes they can change it for the better. A lot of times not, because let's say you change the engine, right? Let's say you make your engine faster, better, but you might make the engine run hotter, and the other specifications of the bike were not made to run that hot, so you might end up running into another problem. You know, so if you don't change things properly, professionally, the way you should, you can actually end up running into more problems. And that being said, also bikes with extended swing arms, me personally, I stayed away from, because you know, I ride a booster. A lot of guys have extended swing arms on the booster. I prefer my stock handling. Right, I like being able to hit corners and turns, and I don't want that to be sacrificed for looks. B, you don't know if they did a good job of extending the swing arm. You don't know how they're good at welding. And C, were they racing it? Because the extended swing arm is a great application for drag racing. Even if they weren't drag racing, they probably rode it very hard. Because when your swing arm is extended, you can pull off the line so much quicker than if it's not. So if you can pull off the line quicker, you're more likely going to do it. You can do burnouts a lot more often too. Burnouts. Look at the wear and tread on the tire. You know, try to look if you see rubber underneath where the tire is, it probably means they were burning out. If you see a lot of even wear on the edges of the tire, they're pretty hard rider. Maybe they even take to the racetrack. And me personally, I wouldn't want a bike that was taken to the racetrack. I want a bike that was barely ridden. I want a bike that was pampered. So if you see a lot of tread wear in the middle, they're probably commuting on it more often. But if you see a lot of tread even to the edges, that means they're riding that baby pretty hard, probably racing it. Take a look at the chain. Is the chain well maintained? Is it lubed? Is there a lot of oil and grime built up on it? Is it really rusty? You know, if it's really dirty, really rusty, it probably means it wasn't well maintained. If they're not maintaining that chain, who knows what else they weren't maintaining. Because the chain is easy and cheap to maintain. Easy and cheap. So if they're not even maintaining that, imagine what else they're not maintaining. Look for they got a service record for the oil changes, whatever. See if they got their bike maintained on a proper schedule. Also, look at the condition of the bike. Just look at it, just like a car. If you see a car that looks like it has 100,000 miles on it, but it only has 20, something fishy. Something's fishy, I stay away from it. Just like a bike. The bike has low miles, but the body has high miles, they dog that bike out. Very important, look to see if they drop the bike. Check the fairings for any scratches, check the handlebars, check the rims, check anything for signs of scraping up against the ground of them dropping it. Some people drop their bikes and try to hide it by putting new fairings on, and then they sell it. So you really gotta inspect the mess out of it. When I bought my bike, there was a nick on the brake lever. That a little scratch on the muffler. It didn't look like it was bent down. It looked like they scraped up against something. So I'm like, okay, I'm good. Start the bike up. See if you see any oil leaking. If you see any loose smoke coming out the exhaust, that's a bad sign. Let it run. Try to take it for a test drive. I would take it for a test drive, and if you know how to ride a bike, I would give that baby a workout. If you take it for a test drive, try to get to the freeway and just ride that baby hard to see how it reacts. You know, move side to side, see how the body and the tires and everything's working. You know, don't just ride in a straight line. Check the frame of the bike. You know, if you see any bends, anything bent, anything out of place, maybe they dropped it. You know, you really gotta inspect the bike. Because in my experience, a lot of guys don't maintenance or take care of their bikes. A lot of guys don't. You know, they pretty much just dog them out, ride them. Don't clean, wash them, don't maintain their chain. They treat it like a toy. You know, it's just a bike. No, I love my bike. I maintenance my bike. I wash every crack and crevice of it. I lube my chain up. I get my oil changed regularly. I keep my tires fresh. I don't do no stupid burnouts, you know, but I am not the norm. Most bikes that I look at and expect are not well maintained. So those things you gotta really look for. Yeah, everything about it, you know, just when I looked at my bike, I looked at how immaculate it was. My bike was, at the time I bought it in what? 2013? Yeah, 2013. And it's a 2007. So it was 6 years old when I bought it. And it had like 8,900 miles on it. So I mean, it's a 6-year-old bike with only 8,900 miles on it. They weren't riding it very often. I tell you right now. Because I put 6,000 or 7,000 on it the first summer I got it. So whoever had it had the bike for 6 years. And I'm assuming there's only one previous owner, because that ain't a lot of miles. It's not. For a 6-year-old bike, this thing was sitting in a garage somewhere, which is great. If you're buying a bike, that is awesome. That's what you want. You want somebody who ain't barely been riding it, you know, because that way it's well maintained. You ain't gotta do it no bull crap. And mine was almost completely bone stock. Only thing I have on this bike is a Brock exhaust and a power commander. And he put it integrated tail light on. I mean, he just did very minor stuff. Nothing that I had to worry about. I haven't had any mechanical problems from the previous owner's customization at all. Nothing. And that's great. Like I said, the other bike that I had, the Busa, right? The other Busa in California that you see me riding, the orange one, the 08, it was customized, beautiful, but I had a problem with the foot peg on the left hand side. It would stay up, like it would flip up, and it was hard to flip down. Like, these are spring loaded. If I lift it up, it's gonna go back down on either side. Like, I don't know if you can see that, but anyway, so I reach my foot back, it's always there. I reached my foot back on that bike, and it wasn't there sometimes. Now that's not cool. That's not safe. It's very unsafe. But that's what happens when you customize stuff. Also, that front brake lever right here, I told you, and I don't know if you remember in the videos, when I would make a left turn like this, the lever would hit the fairing and hit the front brake. That's dangerous, very dangerous. So I could barely make left turns or U-turns where I needed to. He had a problem with the dash gauges, because he had custom dash gauges It's a nice bike. What's up? It's beautiful. Beautiful bike. He had custom gauges and a custom backlight. It said Hayabusa on the back, and it matched the color of his bike. And the backlight went out. I was riding on the freeway. I don't have a video of it, but I was riding on the freeway at nighttime, and I couldn't see how fast I was going. I couldn't see how fast I was going. I couldn't see my RPMs. But you know, that's what happens when you customize. He had like a little dimmer set up to make it bright, because he had changed the light bulb inside his headlight and everything. So he changed a lot of things, and so I couldn't see how fast I was going. That, like I said, that's what happens when you customize stuff. Also, he disconnected the kill switch and put a kill switch that connects to his belt or whatever. So if he falls off the bike, or if he gets away from the bike shuts off, which is cool if you need that. You know, he was probably dragging that bike. He was probably really hitting it, because he had nitrous on it too. So he was getting down on it. That's great for him for what he wants, but I don't want that. And I'm assuming that most people who have motorcycles don't want that. So now the kill switch on that bike doesn't work. You know, it was very irritating. You know, and then plus all the extra chrome that he had, the beautiful chrome rims, the chrome on the handlebars. The stuff added weight, because when I sat on his bike was significantly heavier than mine. I'm not talking about massive amounts, but enough to notice it. I noticed the feel. This owner took stuff off, actually, so it's lighter. And I'd rather be lighter than heavier, but it's up to your preference. But it's just basically watch out for stuff like that. From having this bike, I wouldn't go crazy with the customization, because I made the changes that I wanted, and so this bike is how I want it, not how the other person wanted it, and I had to adjust to it. So that's it, guys. That's my long-winded explanation of what to look for when you're buying a bike. So hope that answers some of your questions. I'll make another video when it gets back to warmer climates, because that's when people are going to be buying bikes. So I'm going to shoot out a lot of videos on what to do to get ready, because actually I will probably be buying another bike too. I'm still keeping this. This is my baby. Ain't going nowhere. But I'm most likely going to be buying another bike. So if I do, you guys will find out about it. So thank you for watching the best moto vlogger on YouTube. Send these videos to your friend. I'm trying to get 1 million subscribers. Deuces.